can hit your button. Everyone else cannot.
Good morning. Appreciate all of you being here today. Let me just say we've got 7 of our 9 human resources agencies presenting today. We appreciate all of you coming here, appreciate what you do. But before we get started, just a couple of comments. Remind the members that the action taken today by the Joint Committee can be to extend the entity by 1 to 8 years, terminate, which would put them into a 1-year wind down, restructure the entity, or we can make no recommendation. Our recommendations will be drafted into individual sunset bills that will be heard during full committee during the 2026 legislative session. There's also a public comment sheet at the front table. If anyone from the audience would like to sign up, you'll need to sign up. Madam Secretary, would you take the roll, please?
Is present. Senator Jackson. Here. Is present. Senator Oliver. Here. Is present. Senator Seal. Senator Sutherland. Here. Is present. Chairman Rose.
Here.
And Representative Crawford.
Here.
Is here. Representative Glenn. Here. Is here. Representative Helton Haynes. Here. Is here. Representative Rudder. Here. Is here. Representative McKenzie. Here. Is here. Vice Chair Fritz. Here. Is here. Chairman Rose, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. All right. One other thing before we get started. Any of our committee have any personal orders or announcements you'd like to make? All right. With that, we will get started. Our first presenting is the Upper Cumberland Resource Agency, and I understand you're going to kind of give an overview of all that the resource agencies do, and so we look forward to hearing your presentation. If you don't mind, state your name, and again, for the record, who you're with and folks that are there with you. Thank you, sir.
I'm Mark Farley, the Executive Director of the Upper Cumberland Human Resource Agency. I have with me Ginger Stout, our Finance Director, and our Board Chairman is in traffic somewhere outside, so if he comes flying in and sits up front, his name is Mayor Jeff Mason from Smith County. He serves as our Board Chair, so. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak to you on behalf of the Upper Cumberland Human Resource Agency, and also to sort of give an overview of what a human resource agency is in general. You're going to hear a lot of the same information over and over and over again today, so we thought we would try and knock out some of the general stuff. Hopefully would make it run a little bit smoother as the day goes on. So what is a human resource agency? At its heart, the Human Resource Agency, or HRA, is dedicated to a single powerful mission, and that's helping Tennesseans become self-sufficient. Since 1974, our agencies have built an effective statewide network to deliver critical social services to every community across Tennessee's 9 distinct districts. We are a grassroots organization. Our strength comes from the fact that we are 9 independent agencies working collaboratively to serve all 95 counties. Our leadership, our staff, and our volunteers are your constituents, local people dedicated to serving their own communities. We are accessible with local offices in the counties we serve. Today across Tennessee, our drivers through public transportation will transport employees to and from work. They'll transport the handicapped to doctor's visits and the senior population to grocery stores. Every day, our employees will partner with nonprofits and service providers to ensure that clients' needs are taken care of so that they can stay in their own homes instead of a long-term care facility. We have a proven track record of delivering a wide array of programs through our Experience Network. So who governs our agencies? A cornerstone of our structure is local control and accountability. Each of our 9 agencies is governed by its own board of directors. As this chart shows, the composition of the board is designed to ensure direct oversight from the communities we serve. It includes 1 state senator, 1 state representative, city mayors, and county mayors across our service area. I would add from the Upper Cumberland, we're very fortunate. Long-term board members have been Senator Paul Bailey, and then Speaker Cameron Sexton has served on our board for many years. This structure, composed of locally elected officials, guarantees that we remain deeply connected to the needs of our communities. Furthermore, we actively seek citizen input through a dedicated policy council. Our accountability doesn't stop there. We adhere to stringent financial oversight. We have strong reporting and accountability to local government officials, the state comptroller's office, the Department of Finance and Administration, and the governor. Every year, each agency undergoes an independent audit by an accounting firm approved by the comptroller, and we provide full public disclosure through formal annual reports. So why do human resource agencies essential for Tennessee? We matter because we deliver hope through strong partnerships. To you, our legislative partners, we are a proven, time-tested, and financially responsible vehicle for delivering human services to every corner of our great state. We have an established, cost-effective administrative structure and a long history of efficient service delivery. We don't just implement programs, we offer you critical insights into the social needs of your communities, helping you make informed decisions. To our local officials and community leaders, we are a strong partner in the ongoing work of improving the quality of life for their citizens. We collaborate with local businesses, nonprofits, and other service providers to build stronger communities. And to our friends and neighbors in need, we deliver hope for a better future. We are their connection to a wider range of services designed to help them stand on their own feet. In closing, human resource agencies are an essential part of the fabric of Tennessee. We are locally governed, financially accountable, and deeply committed network that has been effectively serving our communities for over 4 decades. Before I speak directly about the Upper Cumberland region, I'd be glad to answer any questions about HRAs in general that you may have.
All right, Chairman Crow.
I'm not sure. Yeah, there you go. I'm on. First, I want to thank you guys, and I know some of you here remember Lieutenant Governor Wilder. He used to make sure that every year we would not let people forget the importance of our human resource agencies because we can't, as a state, budget for all these kind of things. People don't realize the different things that I think all the agencies do out there. I think it's the most taken for granted a group of, I guess you would say, contractors with the state to perform services for our communities that we have. People just don't realize the myriad of different programs that you all provide. And so I want to just say how much we appreciate it. I know Jason Cody's here from mine, and I'm always amazed at the work that they do out there. But you mentioned, just briefly, oversight and accountability. And I think one of the reasons that the government operations structure at this point doesn't want to go beyond 4 years for accountability from our perspective is that a lot of money goes through our human resource agencies, and you're out there not like much of some of the other agencies that we see every day. You guys are out there, and we have to trust that you're doing for us what you do. I would obviously like to see, and I've told the chair, 6 years or something like that, but I think 4 years keeps us in that structure that helps the government operations and the Jason Mumpower's group, the comptroller's office, work it as well as they can. But just give me a good perspective, if you could, on just how what is the state and federal oversight. So we obviously trust you because we are at home as a citizen legislature with you guys all the time. You're not in Nashville a lot, but we're at home with you. But yeah, give us a perspective of those that don't trust you, might not trust you like we do, how they can trust that the oversight is there.
Well, I appreciate that question. Obviously, we come through in front of you every 4 or 5 years, and we welcome that opportunity. We like the opportunity to come and tell you what we do and who we are. We cherish that opportunity. I will say on a continuing basis, like we said, we have a yearly audit that runs through the comptroller's office, so we have that oversight. But I can assure you, every state department we contract with, every federal department we contract does a regular ongoing monitoring every year. So we are consistently being looked at by some department at some point looking at each of our programs. And I don't think there's a single program that we administer that is not scrutinized at least once per contract period. So I feel like we do have a lot of ongoing oversight throughout the year that just leads up to this opportunity. This is just sort of the culmination of all those other monitorings and audits that we do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Mayor Mason, we're glad that you navigated the traffic of Nashville and the interstate. Welcome. Senator Oliver, I believe you had a question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here. I've not been in the legislature too long, about 3 years, so I have to admit I have not heard of your agency before. I have a background in social services and child welfare, so I just hadn't heard about this, but this is fascinating and seems like you all are doing really good work. So I'm just curious to kind of understand the sort of inner workings of how you all work with state government and how you operate and get the word out to the community of what you do. So one, I want to know sort of what programs you provide. And secondly, how does the community know that you exist? Or do you operate off of referrals from the state, or do you do community outreach? Like, how does all that work? Thank you.
We contract with the state of Tennessee and also with the federal government to administer various programs. A lot of our programs we have administered for many, many years. Public transportation is a perfect illustration of that. The LIHEAP program, the low income energy assistance program, commodities. There's any number of those. For the most part, all of our agencies, we have local offices in all 95 counties, or for the most part in all 95 counties. I could say in the Upper Cumberland, we have a location in all 14 counties. And we have a person there that it's their job to make sure the citizens of that region know and understand what we offer. And we work very closely. Obviously, we work for the mayors and elected officials, and we trust that through the government structure as well, they're directing individuals to us.
All right, thank you. Chairman Fritz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for coming today. Mine may be general or specific questions, and if it's better to answer them later, I just have two quick questions. Looking at specifically under your Upper Cumberland program, and it may apply to all, there's a $7.7 million THDA figure there, and it talks about rental assistance for those at risk of homelessness. Mm-hmm. So some of us are going to be in Shelby County tomorrow, far outside the Upper Cumberland, at a homeless veterans shelter trying to bring some help in for them. But how much of that do we know? Do we track how much goes of those type dollars to our veteran community to help with preventing the homelessness? Yeah,
we try and track by various demographic groups, and obviously we try and report that. I don't know that I have a figure in front of me today that can answer that. So.
All right. Well, thank you. Go ahead.
One follow-up question. This is on page 21 of the finance manual and sensitive items. I understand sensitive items. I was just interested. It said all weapons regardless of cost. And it surprised me that any of our human resources agencies had weapons. And so
I think that's probably... Yeah, we do contracts with the Tennessee Department of Corrections. So we have probation officers. Now, I don't think any of ours carry weapons, but we have those policies in place in case that is open to them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That's a good catch. Yeah. Chairman Crowe.
Am I on? There we go. Senator Oliver brought up a really good point. And it's hard for us to get a good picture sometimes of all some of the, I shouldn't say smaller programs, but all the little programs you guys do, Meals on Wheels to people. I know mine used to do, and before Jason got there years ago, I think they had adult daycare for, if you're a caretaker for someone with an older parent that couldn't be there alone, they did that. After school programs, all kinds of things like that. Why don't you send this committee a list? I think it would be good for Senator Oliver, especially. I know some of them, but because I've been there so long. But just some of those programs that people would never really believe that we do. The Meals on Wheels was amazing for people. I mean, they knock on doors of some of the elderly in my community, And I get calls from them saying, Rusty, I couldn't survive without that. And so just some of those programs people wouldn't believe. A list for us would be great.
Be glad to do that. You know, each agency, that's the wonderful thing about our structure. We have a lot of programs in common, but each agency, under the direction of the local elected officials, can direct us to do activities above and beyond. And we've got a couple I wanted to share from the Upper Cumberland as well when I say just a few things about us specifically.
All right, why don't we just take a quick pause and say overall, are any questions from our committee on the overall function of HRA? And if there aren't any, then we'll let you focus on the Upper Cumberland. Any specific questions? Any questions on the overall function of HRA? All right, seeing none, would you share then your specifics on Upper Cumberland, and then we may have questions for you.
That
Thank
sounds
you.
good. I'm going to be very short on what we're doing. In the Upper Cumberland region, we're very proud to be expanding beyond our traditional service delivery, which includes the vital programs like public transportation and energy assistance, to trying to do more pioneering, innovative solutions through strategic partnerships. You know, Mayor Mason, one of the reasons I wanted them up here, I was having lunch with a group of the mayors probably 4 or 5 years ago. And their message to me was, I need to be more proactive. We need to try and get upstream. We need to try and tackle some of these systemic problems we're facing before they continue to grow and expand. So one of the programs we're very proud of is our Empower Upper Cumberland program, one of 7 chosen for the Tennessee Opportunity Act pilot through the Department of Human Services. And it's a prime example of this. In collaboration with Tennessee Tech University, the Highlands Economic Partnership, and other community pillars, we are directly helping young families overcome barriers to economic success. We're just now starting to see the results of this program, and the numbers are very encouraging. In our first batch of families to graduate our program, they have increased their household income by $2.4 million in less than 2 years. And we believe these programs, when they're fully implemented and as they're integrated into our region, they're not only going to have long-term impact for these families, but our region will create generational change. Similarly, we're also very excited about a new program, UC Recovery Connect. It's a new initiative funded by the opioid abatement funds. This program has enabled us to build a robust 14-county recovery network by uniting key treatment providers and local nonprofits. And what we have done, we have hired certified peer recovery specialists to serve in all 14 counties, connecting individuals to treatment and to the recovery services they need as they come back from their substance abuse issues. The promising data from these collaborations demonstrate by integrating innovative, targeted programs with our established state and federal services, we're creating a more holistic and effective support system for the Upper Cumberland. And this time, I'll be glad to answer any questions about the Upper Cumberland specifically.
All right, thank you again. Any questions of Representative Fritz?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, thank you for your time. Just one specific, and I had the opportunity to meet a gentleman named John Powell down in Woodbury in Cannon County, and become familiar with a Beyond the Gates Widows Ministry, and I understand it's a nonprofit. And so can you give us just a quick, how do you work with nonprofits like that? In this case, this dear lady I met and talked to, they bring essentials, widows who bring essentials to them like toilet paper and towels and, you know, toiletries and cleaners and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Can you give us an example of how an agency would work with a nonprofit in those regards?
We try and build a robust network of nonprofits in our region. And what we try to do is support them in their work. We feel like the local nonprofits are the ones that's closest to the individuals, to the citizens, and they're the ones that provide the best, most current services. So our role is to try and figure out how we can support them, how we can take our existing programs and supplement what they're trying to do to make sure they're maximizing the clients that they're serving are able to not only receive those services, but also all the other services that we have available as well. One of the things that we try and do as a regional entity under the direction of the local governments is to make sure we're trying to support them in their growth, trying to make sure they're solid and on good, sound footing as a nonprofit so that they can be very successful in their community. So we do a lot of work trying to support them. We also look at grant applications that they have that they're trying to submit just to make sure that they've got all the support they need as they grow their operations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Any further questions from our panel? Chairman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank y'all for being here. This is very informative for a lot of folks. I have two development human resource district in my Senate district, but you mentioned about corrections and how you work with them. I've been chairman of corrections in the Senate for the last 11 years and have a pretty good handle on how that works. I've visited every prison in the state and the local jails and that type of thing. So tell me how you work that. How does that work for you? And how long have you been doing that? And so dealing with, there are about close to 30,000 inmates in our correctional facilities, either state prison or core civic or local jails, but 95% of them will get out one day. So how are you working with them?
We've operated the community corrections program for many, many years, probably 20 or 30 years. And back 3 or 4 years ago, they shifted that model to a day offering more substance abuse treatment. So we opened a day reporting center at that time. We feel like it is moving our region in the right direction. We're able to work with the court systems, with our judges, met with the DA last week to make sure for those individuals coming through the criminal justice system that are not career criminals, they've gotten hooked on drugs. They're off on the wrong path. You know, a lot of those individuals, they don't need to go to prison. They don't need to be there. So how do we offer a viable alternative for those individuals to receive the support they need to get on the right track and get through recovery so they become good citizens of our communities again? The other thing we're lacking the opportunity to do is not only work with those individuals through like our Empower program, the programs that we're learning on poverty solutions, we're able to implement those as well for the families of those individuals coming through our day reporting center. So we think it's a very good model. We're very excited about it, and we hope that it will continue to grow in time.
All right, thank you. Follow up.
You mentioned recidivism rate and how are you able to track, or do you know what your recidivism rate with that program?
I don't know that right off the top of my head. Now,
yeah.
I feel like we've been very successful. We have, we run it through a 9-month program. Ours is not a short term. They're, for the most part, most individuals coming through our program are with us for 9 months, and that's usually pretty good footing to get them on the right track. I know we've graduated in the last 3 years, a pretty good number of the ones that's come through the program. I don't have the specifics, and I can't tell you on the recidivism.
But, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Community corrections, though, is very, very important to your
Yes.
programs.
Yeah, very, very important.
And that's something we're having some, I guess, financing issues with community corrections, and myself and several others have really been working hard to make them whole so they don't have to stop some of these programs that are so vital. Instead of a person going to a hard bed in a correctional facility, they can be corrected with community corrections and be able to stay with their families, still able to have a job and that type of thing. So that's, to me, is extremely important. So thank you for doing that, for what you do with that program.
Appreciate that. And we certainly could use help on the financing on that always.
Yes, sir. I'm working on it.
Thank you, Chairman Jackson. Vice Chair Fritz, leave you recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a follow-up to the senator's really good question. I have a constituent in one of my counties that is a part of setting up a veterans court in Monroe County, I think. And so would that be and I can save this for Mr. Holloway when he speaks, but would that be an appropriate function to engage with y'all to help get something like that set up for some of those people, that we could get them on a pathway away from a DUI or even multiple DUIs or whatever, and get them productive and on track?
I don't want to speak for Mr. Holloway, but obviously, many of our organizations are very interested in working with that population. I know several are working with recovery courts in various ways and forms. That when you look at our workforce across the state of Tennessee, we have a workforce that's on the sideline. Those that stuck in poverty under the benefits cliff. But those in recovery, those are the ones we've got to get rehabilitated and get back in the workplace. And I think all of us as agencies are working any way we can to do that for our region.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Any further questions? Chairman Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. I don't mean to dominate here, but you mentioned the day reporting centers, and if that were to go, and what happens with this is a judge sentences someone to community corrections instead of to a prison in the state. So these people are corrected locally there. If your day reporting center and your program went away, what would happen to those inmates or those people that are going through community corrections? Do you have any idea about that?
I think they would all be incarcerated, and many
Okay.
of them don't need to be incarcerated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point I want to get across, because I understand that, and that's exactly what would happen to many of them. And that's not. We need to. Community corrections was started in 1985 as because of prison overcrowding, and this was an option, and it's been very successful in most areas. So, thank you very much for that.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Jackson. Appreciate it. Any further questions from our panel, from our committee? All right. Any public comments? All right. Seeing none, do we have a motion? Chairman Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion of continuance for 4 years into the year 2030 for the Upper Cumberland HRA.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second? We have multiple seconds. All right. With that, no objections to vote, we will take a voice vote, roll call vote in the Senate. Madam Clerk, please take the vote in the Senate.
Senator Crowe votes aye. Senator Jackson votes aye. Senator Oliver votes aye. Senator Seal, Senator Sutherland votes aye. Chairman Rose
Aye.
votes aye.
Thank you. And we'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Passes through with a 4-year extension. Thank you for being here. Our
Thank
next
you.
presenting agency is Southwest Tennessee. All right. Thank you for being here, Mr. Smith.
Yes, good morning.
Mayor Livingston, appreciate you being here. And
Yeah.
if you would you just tell us who you're with, your name, and then you can
Okay.
present.
I'm Mike Smith. I'm the Executive Director for the Southwest Human Resource Agency, and I want to introduce my board chairman, Mayor David Livingston, who's the county mayor in Haywood County. Mayor Livingston has been very supportive of what we do, as well as the other board members. And on behalf of the governing board of the directors and the staff of the Southwest Human Resource Agency, it's my pleasure to meet with you today. I trust you will gain valuable insight in the business of helping others help themselves. Since our inception, a network of HRAs in Tennessee have served our communities as a safety net for those who are less fortunate. Our daily goal is to help move people from being dependent to being self-sufficient. And for over 52 years, the 9 human resource agencies in Tennessee have helped our friends and our neighbors with financial support, job training, transportation, nutritional services, along with a long list of services designed to help those in need. The 9 HRAs have a proven track record of operating with an extremely low administrative cost and the ability to manage many different programs. We have a time-tested record of delivering services to every county in Tennessee. To our legislative partners, we provide an effective, fiscally responsible delivery vehicle for human resources and offer important insight into every community. To our local leaders, we are a strong partner to help improve the quality of life to our communities. To our friends and neighbors in need, we deliver hope for a better future. We are 9 independent agencies that have close working relationships forged over time, coordinating key initiatives while sharing best practices at our monthly Board of Directors meeting. This past year, agencies have managed almost $300 million while helping more than 500,000 people in Tennessee. So thank you for allowing us to be here today to talk about our agencies and what we do to try to help people. In Southwest Tennessee, we deliver many programs. In fact, we have 54 contracts that we manage daily to help people. Those programs are many. And I'll mention a few and highlight some of the things that we're trying to do to make those programs better for the people that we serve. We operate a federally funded Head Start program that serves 425 3 and 4-year-old children to help them get a head start in the education opportunity of life. And so evaluating that program over the years, we have managed that program for over 50 years. And one of the things that we have tried to do is improve facilities. But because for many years we've operated out of substandard facilities. And so we have recently been awarded over $10 million to build 2 brand new facilities, one in Haywood County in Brownsville and one in Henderson County in Lexington. So the one in Brownsville is completed and the one in Lexington is about half completed. So those children will have a good opportunity there and have a good facility to learn as well. We've also purchased a facility in Chester County that we had rented for a number of years. And so we're trying to improve the program as well. Some of the new programs that we have just recently started, and one in particular is called Tech Helps. And this is part of the broadband initiative that I know you know a lot about and the monies that came down. And so we were awarded over $1 million grant to help seniors to be able to understand how the internet works. And we actually purchase Chromebooks and give to the seniors and give them some class time to help them learn how to navigate the internet and how important that is today in today's world, because those seniors are going to doctor's visits and all other kinds of things that require them to have email and communication with a doctor. And so that program is underway and it's going very well. We operate a social services block grant that helps seniors to maintain their sufficiency at home. We operate a lot of programs that are designed to help seniors, but the overall focus there is to help seniors stay at home and stay out of a nursing home. And so the programs are designed to do that. We also operate a financial management services program, and this program is designed to help veterans and Social Security recipients who are not able to manage their money themselves. And so we are a representative payee for them. We're approved by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and also by the Social Security Administration as well. We recently were awarded a $500,000 grant to do an Inside Out Dad program. And this is a program that is designed to be a reentry program for people that are incarcerated. And so what we do, we work with the local sheriffs to identify people that could go through an intensive program to help them when they get out of jail to stay out of jail, because the national average on recidivism is about 66%. Now in Madison County, one of our counties that we represent, the recidivism rate is about 83%. And so this program is designed to work with them to help them identify the barriers that they have. It might be the lack of a driver's license. It might be child support. It may be felonies that they have. So we work with them on all of those issues. We connect them with people that will help them find employment. And this program is new funding for us, but it's a program that we've operated before. And somebody asked what the recidivism rate in our program was. Well, the one that we operated prior to COVID, the recidivism rate was less than 10%. So I think that's pretty amazing based on the amount of money that we've invested in that program. So we look forward to continuing that program and making a difference in our communities. I'm a former county mayor, so I understand how what the cost of running and operating a jail is. And so we're trying to impact change there for them. We operate the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, Emergency Repair Program, and a very active low income housing program. We have 40 rental properties that we operate under the Southwest Community Development Corporation. And we're actively trying to make sure that housing needs are met. That's really a challenge in today's environment to have adequate housing. We've operated the USDA Commodities Program for about 50 years. And so we also operate a public transportation system. And recently were awarded a federal grant to build a new transportation maintenance facility in Henderson. It's about a combination of TDOT money and federal transportation money that will allow us to build a $10 million new facility in Henderson. So we're excited about that. Public transportation is vitally important to the rural areas in Tennessee. And so we're trying to do our part. We do about 600 to 700 trips per day to take people to where they need to go. It's true public transportation. One of the things that I'm most proud of is our food service solution department, where we provide summer food meals for kids while they're out of school. And this spring, we were honored to have a local celebrity, Trey Smith, who is an NFL football player who was just recently signed a contract with the Kansas City Chiefs to be the highest paid guard in the NFL. But Trey's come down and he helps us kick off our summer food program, and such an ambassador for feeding kids. And so it was an exciting day for us, and we thank Trey for his service and giving back to the community. He didn't have to do that. I think he signed about a $75 million contract. And so he has a lot of other options of things that he could be doing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your continued service to the great state of Tennessee. I'm proud to be in Tennessee, and in fact, I've got an orange tie on today. But anyway, thank you for your continued oversight. We remain committed to transparency, accountability, and serving the citizens of the Southwest Tennessee area. Mayor Livingston may have a word he'd like to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, of all the organizations I've had the privilege to be associated with since I've been county mayor of Haywood County, which is 7 years, the HRA has delivered more services as needed to the people of my county than any other agency that I'm aware of. You know, I have a phrase that I use many times, and I said, some people talk a good game and some people do a good game. HRAs do a good game.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, and Mayor Livingston, appreciate your presentation. Are there any questions from Vice Chair Fritz? You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your time. I got the opportunity to be down in your neck of the woods this week or last week and met with Mayor Smith in McNairy County and Mayor Inman for Selmer.
I live in McNairy County.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, thank you.
And Crossroads Prayer Retreat.
Mhm.
I met a young lady that has a ministry there, and just my curiosity goes to the fatherhood initiative, because that caught my attention when I read through the briefing
Wow.
packet. Is there an element of helping in today's world when so many people struggle with anxieties and depressions? Is there an element in the fatherhood initiative that helps point those human beings to the Lord, to spiritual soundness?
Absolutely. The coordinator that we've got is a minister. And that's his first goal, is to lead those people to Christ.
Amen.
And so, yeah, that's an important part of it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Fritz, thank you for that question. Makes us proud to be Tennesseans when we hear that.
That's right.
Any further questions from our committee? Chairman Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. Of course, I want to go back to your in and out program that you have you had that for a while, or?
We had that program back up until COVID, and we stopped it during COVID.
Okay.
And then we reapplied. The Department of Human Services for Tennessee has a fatherhood initiative that they put out, and they solicited grant opportunities. And so we applied for the grant and were awarded. I think we're the only HRA in the state that was awarded that grant, but it's a 2-year grant. But I'm telling you, it's life-changing for people that need a second chance. And one of the sheriffs asked me one time, he said, I got up and introduced the program, and I said, you know, the Bible says, how many times are we to forgive? And it says 7 times 70. And the sheriff's over here with his calculator said, well, how many times is that? And I said, well, it's a lot. And so it's important that we give people a second chance, I think.
Thank you, Chairman Jackson. Go ahead.
Just on your transportation, is that a lot of people who've been in correctional facilities or in jail or whatever,
Well,
they don't have transportation? Do you provide the transportation for them to get to their
Probation.
probation area?
We do. We've got a contract with the Tennessee Department of Corrections to provide transportation back and forth to their probation hearing. That's a big challenge for some of them because they don't have transportation.
Well, I know that I've seen inmates that didn't have transportation and they get resentenced to go back into
That's right.
to behind bars.
Yeah, that's available for them, people to go to work, whatever they need to do. We're proud in West Tennessee that Ford has decided to move a facility there called the Blue Oval City, and it's actually because of the leadership of our mayor here that's happening. But it's going to transform West Tennessee, and we're proud that they're going to be a good partner.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any further questions from our committee? All right. Any public comments? All right. Seeing none, do I have a motion? Pardon? Chairman Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion for a 4-year extension for Southwest Tennessee HRA.
All right. We've got a motion and a second for a 4-year extension. Any objection to the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, we take a roll call vote in the Senate.
Senator Crowe votes aye. Senator Jackson votes aye. Senator Oliver votes aye. Senator Seal, Senator Sutherland votes aye. Chairman Rose
Aye.
votes aye.
All right. And we'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Passes through with a 4-year extension. Thank you so much for being. Let me ask a final question, and I'll ask that to the others that come up. I noticed that there were some agencies that actually own their buildings. I know our Delta actually, if I'm not mistaken, they rent. So is this your first building to actually own with this 10,000 square foot maintenance facility?
No, we actually own the central office that we operate in. Now, I think years ago, if you go back 50 or so years, there was a law didn't allow HRAs to own property, but that's been changed. And so since then, we've been actively trying to make sure that we can own property through grants. And we've been really successful in doing that. I think we've got $20 million over the last 2 years that we've been able to have debt free. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I should have asked that when we were
That's okay.
in session, but thank you again for being here. Appreciate you both coming up. Next on our agenda is the Northwest Tennessee Human Resources Agency. If you will, please come forward. Make sure your mic's on. Identify yourself and just for the record, tell us again who you're with. And welcome.
Okay. Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I apologize for my voice straight up. My name is Melinda Good. I'm recently retired after 40 years with the Northwest Tennessee Human Resource Agency. But this was so important to me that I asked the board that I could come back and do this. But today I have with me the newly selected Executive Director, Lori Burdine. And then I also have the chairman of our board, the Honorable Joseph Butler from Carroll County. I'm just here today representing Northwest Tennessee. So let me just give you that demographic of where we are. We're the northwest corner of the state of Tennessee. We serve 9 counties. I'm going to give them their due and tell you who they are. That's Benton County, Carroll County, Crockett County, Dyer County, Lake County, Gibson County, Obion County, Henry County, and Weakley County. I think I got all 9. We are a little unique that all of our counties are rural. And so our population together is about 255,000. So our mission statement is to enhance the quality of life of all of our citizens in Northwest Tennessee. You're going to hear a lot of duplication today, but I'm going to just try to highlight real quickly some of the programs that we're most proud of. And so you know, I know Senator Oliver, I'd like to take this time and tell you this too. We are governed according to Tennessee Code 1326-103. I think that code tells us that we are to be governed by our county mayors. So all 9 county mayors are on our board, and those county mayors select a city mayor, and we have 3 city mayors that serve on that board. And then the code also says that a state representative and a senator. That's Senator Stevens for us, and Tandy Darby, thank you for giving me that name, serves with us. So that's the governing board. And then we also have what we call an advisory board. So the governing board meets quarterly, every 3 months. The governing board convenes once a year with that governing board. And that's all of our city mayors, which are 47. And then at that time, we bring in we can appoint consumers and providers of our services to serve on that board. So we feel like we've got a good overall board that looks after us and takes care of us. So just to talk about a few of the programs that we have. We have the nutrition program that was mentioned. Again, in our rural community, we serve last year we served 132,557 people that got a meal. Now, not people, 600 of those people got a meal every day. In our rural communities, it's a little bit of a challenge for us because we are so isolated from sometimes where the meals dropped off to the next location, maybe 10 miles because of the rural capacity of our geographic area. That's home delivered meals. We still serve congregate meals that go to senior centers. And last year, those were 26,259. That number is low. That number is low in the state of Tennessee and across the nation. After COVID, people just stopped coming back for those congregate meals. It's a challenge we're all working towards to get those people back and see what that barrier might be. You've heard talk about the homemaker and the personal home care program. People call in all the time. We get, referrals from somebody that says there's somebody from a church might call and say, I go to church with somebody. I think they need some help. I don't see them getting out much. We have a system in place that gets a referral, can call that in, check on that person, see what's going on. Sometimes they may need just light housekeeping. We come into the home, we dust, we mop, we can help prepare a meal, we can help them review their mail, we can do some light housekeeping. At some point, and sometimes that's just a thing that they need to keep them from going into a nursing home. So we're so proud of that program. We recently, in 2023, contracted with Adult Protective Services with what we call the CREST program. The CREST program, and I'm going to read it so I understand, Collaborative Response to End Self-Neglect in Tennessee. And sadly, we have a lot of clients. That self-neglect, when our folks go into the home, can look like hoarders. It can look like bed bugs. It can look like folks not sleeping on a bed, maybe sleeping on a mattress in the floor. It's unbelievable what we're doing with that program, and we're so proud that we have it and hope we can keep it. Very little money for it right now, but we're using it I think we had 98 clients last year. We were able to serve 73 of those. The reason we didn't serve the others is they just refused our service, and that you'll find happens. We have a CSEP program, that's a Senior Community Service Employment Program, that helps people that are 55 and older find a job. We put them in nonprofit agencies to work and get them some on-the-job training skills. That's a federal contract that we have. That's very successful, and we hope to continue that. And then I do want to mention public transportation. You've heard a lot about that. I think the biggest takeaway today from that is public transportation. In our rural communities, that's all ages. A lot of times the Human Resource Agency is thought about as just for seniors, and a lot of our programs are. But public transportation in our rural area is vital. We don't have taxis. We don't have a bus system. We have to have that public transportation. Ours is door to door. Our folks drive up in that driveway and get them in the van, take them to their trip, whatever that trip might be. Dialysis is the biggest demand that we have. We run those 6 days a week, so I'm very proud that we're able to do that. That medical piece of the dialysis is so important. But in the last year, our demand for employment trips have been just off the charts. So we sat down and looked with our transportation director, how can we level this out? I mean, it's a hard decision to make when you've got a medical trip to decide, and maybe even a trip to Walmart. We understand that is a vital part of the quality of life too. But our employment trips last year, we did 10,585. And so that's regardless of age. And as I say, public transportation, we're taking folks to work. We're taking folks to dialysis. We're taking them to Walmart. That is just such a big piece for us. You mentioned too, Senator Jackson, and I think we heard this, we contract with the Board of Probation and Parole. In talking with a lot of our sheriffs, they tell us that their jails, local jails, are overrun. And a lot of times it's because of a parole violation. They're just put back in. And so, and when we talked about this, we understood that transportation is that barrier that keeps them from doing that. A lot of times they don't have a driver's license when they get out, don't have means for a car or a friend to take them to their hearings. So we contract directly with the Board of Probation and Parole to do that. And we make that a priority for us to do that so that we can do. So that's our way of helping. We don't have a corrections program because in our area, we actually have 3 good corrections programs that are already operating. Our total trips in our rural community last year is 109,212, but that put 1,553,100 miles on our vehicles, over 1 million miles on our vehicles. So I don't want to take much of your time because I know you're going to hear a lot from us, but we are so proud of what we do here. We're proud of those contracts. We contract with DHS, APS, TDOT, TennCare, Tennessee Disability and Aging, and we just appreciate it. You know, I heard you, Senator Crow, say the word trust. I appreciate that you trust us with your constituents. I hope you know that every day we do have, we may be different in some of the services, but we have a one mindful goal, and that is to take care of your constituents in all that we do. So I appreciate the good 50-year service that we've had with you, and I'll entertain any questions.
Ms. Good, thank you for your presentation. Any questions, committee? Chairman Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First off, I want to start by saying thank you for your service. Northwest and Southwest are 2 of the HRAs in my Senate district, and the services you provide are unbelievable. I know you and I helped a lady over in Crockett County that was in a very remote area, and a part of her floor had fallen out of her house in the wintertime, and she was trying to stay warm, and and y'all made a difference in that lady's life. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your years of service. We're going to miss you a lot, but I know you've got a good person here to fill your shoes, and I look forward to working with y'all. But the transportation, I know, is such a huge issue for so many people, but like you mentioned, for people who are out on parole, and if they can't make their parole, meet with their parole officer, they get sent back so many times, and I've seen that happen, and so that's very valuable service. So thank you very much for what you do.
Yeah. And I will say, Senator, a lot of times with transportation, we have a no-show. We pull up and the person just doesn't come out to take their trip that day. That's not the case with these folks. They show up. They understand the importance of it. So we want to continue that.
Just one more quick question. Do you have trouble finding drivers for your shuttle services?
It has improved. After COVID, we were devastated, I'll be honest. And we took a long look at what we were paying each of our drivers. Our board was very helpful in helping us restructure that pay scale so that now we're very competitive with, McDonald's even. So it's much better. Yes, we need more, and we're still looking for more, but it's better.
All right, thank you. Vice Chair Fritz, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, and congratulations on the retirement. I'm going to break the 11th commandment here and do math in public. And so if I heard the numbers correctly, 255,000 in the counties that y'all are responsible for. And just based on the revenue, that comes up to about $34 per those 255,000. I would imagine there's some economies of scale in some of the more populated areas, but just on that one metric, that sounds like an efficient use of money to me. So my congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions from our committee? Any public comments? And before we vote, let me just add my congratulations for your service. And your passion is so evident. And I appreciate that. I know our committee does and our state does as well. Thank you so much for, a lot of folks that provide services, they do it with a smirk and a grumble. And I won't say a lot, but occasionally you run into some, whether it's a server at a restaurant or whatever. But it's so wonderful to have someone with a smile on their face and a passion in their heart to serve those that need our help the most. So thank you. All right. Any public comments? I think I've already asked. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion, and Chairman Jackson, you'll recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I would like to motion for a 4-year extension for Northwest Tennessee HRA.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second? You have a second from Chairman Rudder. All right. Madam Clerk, will you take the roll call vote in the Senate, please?
Senator Crowe votes aye. Senator Jackson votes aye. Senator Oliver votes aye. Senator Seal, Senator Sutherland votes aye. Chairman Rose
Aye.
votes aye.
We'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Moves forward with 4 extension. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Next on our agenda is Mid-Cumberland Human Resources Agency. And I believe you folks have a presentation for us, maybe a video presentation. If I've got that right.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't mind, make sure your mic's on, identify yourself and tell us who you're with, and then you may proceed.
Thank you for having me today here. My name is Randall Hutto, Wilson County Mayor, and I'm joined by the Director of Human Resources. Here is Ms. Jane Hamrick to my right, and to my left is Kevin Rye, the CFO and the Director of Operations. Thank you for what you do for our state and listen to us today as we try to present in front of you. I've been the board chair for the past year. But I've been a county mayor for 15 years and have been a part of this board. As many of you will know, they'll come to the county mayor's office when they need pretty much anything. We provide public education, transportation, of course, with roads, corrections, take care of your trash. But there's a lot of things in between that we don't do, as you well know. And to bridge this gap, this organization has met those needs of the people that come to us with various things that cannot be covered by county government. I've had the chance to see the Meals on Wheels program at firsthand and be a part of that. But you've heard already from the rest of them that meals are delivered to our seniors, transportation to appointments for a critical part of our seniors, and just keeping families on their feet and able to stay in their home is a part. As I've been to some of those Meals on Wheels events, I do realize that the meal is very important. It's hot, of course, but actually just the interaction that they have with the people in these homes. We've actually started something else in our county called SCAN, where the police go out and check on those homes as well. And so that interaction is very important. So Meals on Wheels does that as well. And then, of course, the transportation part. And I'll have people call me from in Wilson County. I have a little rural town called Watertown. And a lady up there called me not long ago, and she needed to go to dialysis. She was actually my 5th grade teacher. And she said, I can't get there. I don't drive, and I really need some help, and I don't want to call my grandson. Is anything you can do? And we said, hey, Mid-Cumberland can take care of you. They can work with that. And so that became her dialysis transportation on a daily basis. As we celebrate 51 years, I think about the vital work of what's been done and what still is out there to do in the future for us. As you know, Middle Tennessee is growing like crazy. I think probably the hottest place in the country right now. And so as Mid-Cumberland here was formed in 1974, there are 15 elected officials that govern this body, serve 13 counties in Middle Tennessee. Meals on Wheel last year delivered more than 500,000 meals to our people. We talked about it not just being food, of course, it's the interaction. Our vans take clients to medical appointments every day. This is for chronic illnesses I talked about with diabetes, of course, is a part of that, but ER visits, and just a chance to maybe just stay independent. Another thing that was started kind of through this was senior rides, and you've heard about national rides. So that was kind of started off of this too, because Mid-Cumberland can't get to everything. So that was another piece that branched off of this in our county. We hope that we can always help the vulnerable stay at home and to meet their basic needs to prevent abuse, of course, and daily nursing home needs that are needed, and a cost-effective alternative to jail as we work to provide counseling and supervision in our jails. Our recidivism rate is 2.74%, and we think that is very good. So Meals on Wheels is our proudest effort, I think. We served over 13 million meals just recently. Each year, we raise over $1.3 million in support of additional funds of federal and state dollars to go this. Over 45,000 volunteers help to deliver those 500,000 meals. We delivered 1,500 pounds of pet food because we believe pets are a part of the family, and it is a large part of the family. When you have those people that stay at home, you know, that pet is their companion and becomes a part of their family. We built something new also just recently, a long-term recovery house, a community, a PRES, I think is the right way to pronounce that, but it includes a 19-bedroom townhomes, neighborhood service center with wraparound services. This was made possible by the support of both state and local partners. Residents at a PRES will have access to employment reentry, job search support, transportation, faith-based guidance. And to qualify, the residents must complete treatment or be recently released from incarceration, hold a job, and stay drug-free. This structure, supportive path for forward, helps those to rebuild their lives and to be a part back into our society. Have a short video we'll play for you right now that will tell you a whole lot more than what I did. And hopefully the sound works.
Yeah, I think we were experiencing some technical difficulties here in this room due to the storm, but we're going to try it and see what happens.
Founded in 1974, Mid-Cumberland Human Resource Agency has helped Tennesseans live with dignity, independence, and hope. Through programs like Meals on Wheels and public transit, they bring joy, comfort, and essential support to those who might otherwise be alone or overlooked.
I just wanted them to know that they did more than just hand out a meal. They touch people when they come. We old folk are lonely and alone, and it's good to see a bright and shining, smiling face come to your door with a dinner.
It's such a blessing to us folks that need this kind of service. It's practically a lifesaver, and it did save my life. I needed to go have dialysis done 3 times a week.
With your support and our 50-plus years of experience, we are able to keep our Middle Tennessee neighbors living independently, with dignity, and an improved quality of life. To learn more about how you can get involved, visit mchra.com.
And I'll answer any questions that you would have for us.
All right. Any questions? Vice Chair Fritz, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate y'all's time. Good to see you again today, Mayor. I looked at the revenues and expenses, and it seems like over the last 3 years, they went down 24%. Is that a problem or an efficiency that you've gained? Or if I'm looking at the correct numbers, your revenues dropped from 27 million down to 20 million over a 3-year period.
The decrease is actually related to some contracts we had in workforce that have been brought back in-house at those respective agencies. Actually, we went from about 35 million down to about 20, we're about 22 million at this point, but it's contracts that are related to workforce.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further questions from our committee? Yes, Senator Oliver, you're recognized.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I represent Davidson County, so this would be my HRA. And my district has a large aging population, particularly in Bordeaux area, Northwest Davidson. But as I look at the governing board here, Nashville is not really represented in the structure. The legislative representatives, as you know, Davidson is largely Democratic, so there are no Democratic representatives. Mayor Freddie O'Connell is not on the mayoral part of the board. And on the advisory council, Nashville is the only city missing. So how are my constituents particularly represented on this board and given a voice?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's a good question because the act itself actually identifies 9 RHAs, and then they also carve out 4 metropolitan areas, which would include Shelby County, Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Davidson County. And they do have their own quote unquote HRAs. They're not defined as HRAs, but your entities like Metro Social Services, they actually do the Meals on Wheels in the Davidson County area. We do some programs like Ombudsman, where we actually are advocates for people in long-term care facilities. We actually monitor about 181 across our area with 4 people. So the board, in our interpretation of the act, was it's really we're the 12 counties, and we do provide some services in Davidson County, but it's very limited because the other entities do pick up those contracts and services.
Gotcha.
Senator Oliver, you recognize. Go
So
ahead.
it's safe to say Davidson is pretty much financially sufficient enough to provide its own services.
Well, like for instance,
to
Meals on
this
Wheels, we get our contracts from like Greater Nashville Regional Council of Development District, and they provide the funding for the Meals on Wheels for Metro Social Services because that's their geographic areas considered Davidson County, and we do it in the 12 counties surrounding Davidson County. So it's really a geographic thing.
Okay.
Recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So how can I, partner with you all to make sure my constituents, when they call my office, know about you all? Is there a point of contact? How can we work together?
We'll be glad to see you. We'll be glad to have you out to come and do a meal route with us in
Sure.
some of the
I love
surrounding
that.
counties.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Oliver, thank you for that question. I think it's very appropriate. I did not know about the metro carve-outs, but that was done before you and I got here. So we just have to live with it, I guess. So, but anyway, thank you for the question. Any other questions from our committee? All right, seeing none from any public comments or questions. All right, seeing none, do I have a motion? Chairman Crawford, I believe you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would make a motion for an extension of 4 years into 2030.
Thank you. Have a second? You have a second. Thank you so much. Any objections, vote. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please take a roll call vote in the Senate.
Senator Crowe votes aye. Senator Jackson votes aye. Senator Oliver votes aye. Senator Seal, Senator Sutherland votes aye. Chairman Rose
Aye.
votes aye.
All right, we'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. And opposed? Mid-Cumberland Human Resources Agency moves forward with a 4-year extension. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next on our agenda today is First Tennessee Human Resource Agency. I don't see anyone coming forward. Whoop, maybe we do. All right. All right, thank you for being here. If you would, make sure your mic's on. Identify yourself and the agency you represent, and you may proceed.
I am Jason Cody, Executive Director of First Tennessee Human Resource Agency, and I brought today Candace Long, my Transportation Director today. Thank you all for having us here today. It's a privilege and an honor to be before you and to talk about not only our agency, but how we serve and impact the lives of different Tennesseans today. I'd first like to start by saying we've been obviously in existence for 50 plus years. Our service area is the far eastern counties. It's a 8-county area just east of Knoxville. It covers a population of over 500,000 people and 29,000 square miles. A very mountainous area. 75% of our service area has been classified as economically distressed or at risk by the Appalachian Regional Commission classification. Our mission is very similar to you all. We're in the business of helping people, is the way I say it, very short and simple. Whether it's a hot meal, whether it's a trip or a ride, we're here to remove the barriers to people that maintain their independence and their sense of self-worth and sufficiency. We operate 16 different grant-based programs. Our two most recognizable, of course, are Meals on Wheels and our public transportation system. Just to share some of the accomplishments that we've had over the period, and bear with me here. During the review period, we've served over 1 million hot meals in the last 3 years for Meals on Wheels. We actually offer a new service. I know some of our sister agencies have spoke before us. Was talking about community corrections. We operate, and we were the first in the state to have a day reporting center, but now we operate an intensive outpatient program, an IOP. And to date, we've had 23 graduates. And in those 2 years that we've operated the IOP, all participants have not received any new charges. We do service both felony corrections with a contract with the Department of Corrections and misdemeanor programs within some of our local county court systems. We have over 3,100 probation clients on those programs. Last year, we did over 140,000 trips through our transportation program. In our transportation program as well, we have started offering a new service called Connect, which is a same-day service. It's very Uber style is the best way I would say it from technology. The individuals can use the technology to see where the ride's at. Gives them very accurate information of arrival times. So we are utilizing technology to be more efficient and more cost-effective. We have made strategic investments in our infrastructure. We recently obtained a community service block grant to double our freezer storage space so we could have some opportunities for more volume discounts and to more easily handle bulk storage for emergencies. And I'll talk about that here in a second. Financial stewardship, we have consistently got excellent monitoring reports. In our audits, we've had 9 straight years with not a single audit finding, which I'm proud to report. As well, in disaster response, our region was affected by Hurricane Helene, and we provided almost 40,000 shelf-stable meals. And we activated that and were serving meals in less than a week after the event. We were the boots on the ground. As well, we provided almost 13,000 trips to individuals affected by the flooding at no charge, covering almost 300,000 miles. We wanted these people to get to resources to restore their lives, whether it was an employment office, whether it was FEMA, wherever they needed to go to get assistance. We stood by them and helped them during their time of need. So that's what we have done as an agency. We are here to continue to serve the people of our region, and we are proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Any questions from our committee? Chairman Crow, you're recognized.
Thank you. I don't have a question, but I just do want to thank them for what they do. Not only the flood, we had a major disaster up our way. I know that we've had floods in Texas and other places, and people don't realize, you hear on the news that someone lost their home, Monty, and, then they realize that they didn't just lose their home, they lost their property because the river is now their property. And then they go out to get in the car and there's no car there, there's no tractor. And they try to get to their job and the business is washed away. They don't have a job. Then they realize that they still have to pay a mortgage on a home and property they don't own and car payment on car that they don't have anymore. That's how devastating this was for some people. And I'm sure it's the same thing in Texas and the other floods we've had. But the First Tennessee Human Resource Agency I'm really proud of what they did and what they do. As he said, no findings in 9 years. And so we thank you for what you're doing. And I guess I should say this for all of us. Some of us are on the boards of our HRAs. I'm on their board. And I guess if you are, we better remember to take Rule 13. I had forgotten that. But at any rate, they do a great job, and I'll take Rule 13 when I vote. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you, Chairman Crow. Any other questions from our committee? Jim Crawford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too would like to take just a moment to thank you guys for what you do and what you have done for our area. You're all so attention to detail is seen every day in the programs you do. And it truly is life altering what you guys do. And I just want to thank you for it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Any further questions from our panel, from our committee rather? Any public comments? All right. Seeing none, we will entertain a motion. Chairman Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would like to make a motion for a 4-year extension for First Tennessee HRA to 2030.
Thank you, sir. We have a second. We have a second. Chairman Crow, thank you so much. Any objection to the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, take the roll call vote in the Senate, please.
Senator Crow. Rule 13. Senator Jackson votes aye. Senator Oliver votes aye. Senator Seal. Senator Sutherland votes aye. Chairman Rose.
Aye.
Votes aye.
Thank you. We'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? All right. First Tennessee Human Resources Agency moves forward with a 4-year extension. Thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate all that you do. Great presentation.
Thank you.
All right. The next on our agenda today, next to the last, is East Tennessee Human Resources Agency. I think you've heard the drill, but if you don't mind, make sure your mic's on. Identify yourself and who you're with. And when you're ready, I think we are.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Gary Holloway. I'm the Executive Director of the East Tennessee Human Resource Agency. This is Cindy Miles, and she has a fancy title, but she's actually my deputy. And I'd just like to say that, speaking of years of service, that she's about to complete 41 years of service to the human resource agencies.
And retiring.
Yeah, I was going to ask if y'all could do something that would keep her from being able to do that as part of your motions here in a few minutes. To Representative Fritz, the answer is yes on your question. Mr. Chairman and members, I thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the East Tennessee Human Resource Agency. We're commonly called ETHRA. For more than 50 years, ETHRA has quietly but powerfully served as the backbone of support for individuals and families across the largest HRA service area in the state. From transportation and housing to workforce development and nutrition programs, we're the busiest of helping in the business helping people achieve greater independence, stability, and quality of life. We're also the only HRA in the state that operates in-house the Area Agency on Aging and Disability, which enables us to provide a wide array of services to seniors, support services to over 50,000 seniors in our area. Actually, I think there's about 53,000. I would say, as speak about workforce development, that we do all three components of the workforce program, from the staff to the board and the fiscal part. We do the career services, and this year the governor has allowed us to do the one-stop operator. So I would say that that's the most efficient way to do workforce rather than piecemealing out to different areas, and we're proud to be able to have that opportunity. Every year, ETHRA provides essential services that directly impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of Tennesseans across our 16 counties. Our public transportation system completed over 219,000 passenger trips last year, connecting people to jobs, doctor appointments, and vital services across nearly 8,000 square miles, including the rural areas where other options just don't exist. You've heard a lot of talk about the transportation program, and it has come a long ways over the years for all 9 HRAs. We are able to connect from one end of Tennessee to the other, and it's a great program that has helped many people that otherwise would have been just without any ability to get anywhere. In our senior nutrition program, we deliver home cooked meals and a sense of connection to seniors who otherwise go hungry or unseen. And I'd like to emphasize that unseen, because many of these elderly people that live in remote areas, and if it weren't for the people that deliver those meals, they many times would not see anybody for days. ETHRA is uniquely positioned among service providers in Tennessee. Because we're regional, we're able to deliver a wide range of services at scale, leveraging shared resources, minimizing duplication, and keeping administrative costs low. In short, we provide more with less. And you've heard that from the other HRAs as well, and that's very true, that we stretch dollars that often we wonder where they're going to come from, but we're able to help those people that have needs. We operate with lean overhead while maintaining high levels of customer satisfaction, whether it's our workforce development services, housing assistance, and public guardianship programs. Our clients and community partners know they can trust us for timely, respectful, and reliable support. This isn't just anecdotal. It's reflected in our program retention rates, community feedback, and the confidence placed in us by the local governments and partner agencies. And when I speak of local governments, I apologize. I should have said that Glenn Jacobs, Knox County Mayor, is our board chair this year, and he was unable to come, and he sends his regrets. Another key strength in our ability to adapt and respond to shifting circumstances. For example, when the federal guidelines pertaining to the child food program changed suddenly in 2022, we didn't wait. We pivoted overnight to a non-congregate home delivery meal system for children in rural areas, one of the first in Tennessee to do so. That flexibility is one of our greatest strengths. We're small enough to be responsive, large enough to be impactful. We also, we do a very large child care food program We have the largest one in the state of Tennessee, and we provided over 1 million meals this past year to children. That's one of those programs that kind of gets to my heart because, a lot of these children that we serve, we feed them during the week, and on the weekends, if we didn't give them a meal to take home with them, they wouldn't have anything until they get back on Monday. So that's quite disturbing in many ways. One of the things I guess I am most proud to share with you is that Ether never closed our doors when COVID-19 hit. Many places, as you well know, shut down, didn't operate in the manner that we think they should have. But we were open every day. Now, we did create a plan that would keep everybody safe and keep the people that we serve safe as well. But we were there, and some of my staff didn't really want to be, but I felt like that was the way that Human Resource Agency, ours, should function, because we didn't know if we'd have anything to come back to if we didn't do it, and we knew that the people would continue to rely on the things that we had to be able to offer to them. Our transportation teams just kept rolling, ensuring seniors could still reach medical care and other needs. Our meals program expanded, delivering food to isolated elders and children who couldn't access traditional sites. Our housing and workforce programs never skipped a beat, continuing to process applications, provide guidance, and connect people with urgently needed help. That resilience wasn't by accident. It is the result of deep local relationships, a flexible organizational structure, and an unwavering commitment to our mission. Ether has a long-standing reputation for fiscal responsibility. Our independent financial audits consistently show no findings, and funds remain tightly managed to maximize program impact. In 2024 alone, we channeled over $52 million into operations like transportation, senior services, and family support programs. Most of it was from federal and state grants, and we're very appreciative to the state of Tennessee for all that they provide for us, that we were successfully able to administer on behalf of the state. We feel we are a model of government efficiency and public trust, consistently adapting to changes in state and federal regulations while remaining focused on outcomes that really matter. Ether's success is not due to a specific strategy or structure. I want to make it clear it's because of our people, our staff, and our volunteers. Volunteers for the last year contributed over 95,000 service hours in support of our mission, which in many ways we wouldn't be able to function if we didn't have volunteers to help us in some of the programs, simply because without volunteers we wouldn't be able to afford to do the programs. Ethra is a family. We are a team of dedicated, mission-driven individuals who show up every day because we believe in helping others. We're compassionate, resilient, and deeply rooted in the communities we serve. We know our clients. We celebrate their successes. We grieve their losses. And we work together to make a difference in their lives. Simply put, our people are our greatest asset, and commitment is what powers every mile that's driven and every meal that's delivered and every hand held through a crisis. Ether is not just another agency carrying out state functions. We're a regional partner, a community anchor, and a public resource that delivers a bundle of services under one roof, saving time, saving money, and changing lives. We're uniquely positioned to deliver multiple services efficiently at scale, maximize every dollar with minimal duplication, adapt quickly to changing needs without sacrificing service quality as we've proved during the pandemic. Maintain high satisfaction by serving people with compassion, consistency, and respect. When you support ETHRA, you're not just funding programs, you're investing in people, in relationships, and in proven locally driven solutions that work. You're investing in East Tennessee's future. I might say that some of the statements I've made here today don't just, not just for East Tennessee Human Resource Agency, but for the other 8 human resource agencies that we have across the state. In closing, I wish to emphasize that ETHRA is not just a service provider. We identify and understand local needs. We solve problems, stretch dollars, and build stronger communities from the ground up. An investment in ETHRA is an investment in healthier seniors, food-secure children, stable families, job-ready residents, and accountable governance. With your continued support, we will keep doing what we do best, helping people, making every public dollar count, and strengthening East Tennessee for generations to come. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for hearing me today, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to attempt to answer them.
Mr. Holloway, thank you so much for your presentation. I recognize Vice Chair Fritz, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for your time today, Mr. Holloway. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the investment you've made and allowing me to come up and learn more over the past 3 years about all the valuable things you all do and your team, your family does. Ms. Miles, congratulations on 41 years. Retirement, that's an exciting and frightening door, isn't it? It is. Well, congratulations on that. And just one quick question. Do I understand that your agency is the largest of all the human resource agencies in number of counties?
That's correct. We have 16 counties, and I hope you won't ask me to repeat them all, but I'll try.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You are welcome. Senator Oliver, you're recognized. Oh, excuse me, Representative McKenzie, I apologize.
No problem. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'd like to piggyback on what my colleague from Roane County said. You all do great work throughout all the areas. I see your vans, nothing else, all over the place, and you partner well with our counties. Like we was said before, there's carve out. I'm sure our carve out is with CAC, Community Action Committee. They do a lot of that work, and you guys work well with them. So I really would but thank you. Period, exclamation point. But I would challenge the folks at Mid-Cumberland to adopt more so your model, as you say, your chair in Knox County, to engage more in Davidson County, because, at the end of the day, there's a hub and then there's spokes. And you guys do a good job of kind of acknowledging that hub being, in that Knox County area. But you really do a great job of delivering that service throughout. Including in Knox County with the things that you do there. You don't do mobile meals because that's CAC, but the things that you do there, you all engage well. So thank you.
We actually contract with CAC to provide the revenues, or some of the revenues, for them to do the home delivered meals through our contracts.
Right. Thank you. Any further questions from our committee? I've just got a question and a comment, a couple of comments, actually. A question, and I kind of hesitate to ask it, so you are perfectly free to not answer it.
Okay.
But you mentioned that a lot of these families, and I think it probably applies across all of our agencies, they would not get a meal if you didn't bring it, or they might not see someone if someone didn't come and bring a meal. What do you attribute that to? Do we have families living close by that just will not help, or are they just families scattered? Do you have an idea of why that is?
Well, I think in cases that I speak of there are probably more so that we have people that just live in some remote areas that just don't you just don't see people that often. We serve like Claiborne, Union County, Scott County, Kimball County. Some of those, there's some pretty remote areas that that just houses are just maybe a mile or two away. But I do understand what you're saying there, and I think that is, and I don't know whether it has to do with the times that we're in now or not, that people don't necessarily help their neighbor like they should and like people used to do in time past.
Well, thank you for trying to answer that. I know it was a tough question, and I guess you look at family, and we're the family, so we won't pursue that anymore. I want to thank you for not shutting down during COVID. That you're to be commended for that. I really do appreciate it, and I certainly understand that there were folks that didn't necessarily like it, but they had an option. I assume you gave them a choice.
I sure did.
I understand that. And Ms. Miles, I echo Vice Chair Fritz's comments. Thank you for 41 years of service. You look like you got another 50 or 60 in you. So are you sure you want to?
Not really.
Oh, okay. All right. Any further questions? Chairman Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome, and glad you're here. I enjoyed visiting with you on the phone not long ago.
Yes, sir.
One thing I wanted to ask about, and it goes back to, I think, and I know Senator Briggs is on your board,
Yes.
and he and I talk almost daily. It seems like about a lot of different things, but some of the things that we've talked about are community corrections. And I think, do you have or have you had community corrections with your agency?
Yes, sir, we do. And we had community corrections since, I guess, inception in late 1990s. And now we do have 2-day reporting centers, one in Hamlin County and one in Blount County. That has been a challenge to be able to get those developed and up and running and serving those that have needs to be there, partly because I think in some ways that's those clients have to agree to come, and we've had successes. I can't give you any numbers, but probably more so in Roane County than we have Hamlin. But it requires the cooperation of the judges as well. So anytime you have an opportunity to speak with those judges that can help that program or help our community corrections program. One thing we are having the opportunity to to do some of the things that we used to do with clients rather than going to the day reporting center, that we're able to take them on and monitor their successes and so forth.
So your program has been very successful, and I think you had some issues or problems with old RFP about meeting the requirements, the standards that was out with the RFP a couple of years ago.
We did. I think it had to do with something I'm not exactly right off the bat. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had to do with we weren't able to commit to some of the language that was in the RFP, but we were able to get that resolved so that we could move forward. And if I could just say also that we last year they gave us $1,078,000, and this year we got $914,000 to do the same job. So that is a concern.
Well,
I was going to say,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
3 years ago when we did community corrections, and we had probation in 19 counties and a lot of officers and stuff. So they all lost their jobs when they revamped the community corrections. And so it was put more on the state probation and parole and the counties and the judges finding alternatives when we had to do away with the local probation in each of the counties.
Those that you were not able to see with community corrections went to state probation. What did they have to go back before a judge again and be resentenced to Department of Corrections
Yes, sir, they did.
probation?
Yes, they did.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to, with this the loss of a lot of the funding, are you able to bring back community corrections like you would like to, or as much as you have in the past?
No, we haven't been able to bring it back, and yes, we would. We think the program that we had before the changes 3 years ago was a good program. It's not to say that it can't be improved, and I think if we can get it back on the same way that it was, that maybe that could be part of the corrections department that could help to have more emphasis on these folks that have that are our clients, to help them, educate them different ways that to make them more successful, so make them good citizens.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further questions from our committee? Any public comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion? Representative Crawford, Chairman Crawford, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would make a motion of extension of 4 years to the year 2030 for East Tennessee HRA.
Thank you. We have a motion. Got a second, Vice Chair Pritz. No objection to the vote. Madam Clerk, please take a roll call vote in the Senate, please.
Senator Crowe votes aye. Senator Jackson votes aye. Senator Oliver votes aye. Senator Seal. Senator Sutherland votes aye. Chairman Rose
Aye.
votes aye.
And we'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? East Tennessee Human Resources Agency moves forward with 4-year extension. Thank you for being here. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you very much, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Representative Elaine Davis represents us on our board, as well as Senator Briggs, and they're quite active during the times that they can be there. So,
good deal.
So thank you all very much.
Thank you again. Appreciate it. All right. Say the best for last. This is a group. I'll go on and declare Rule 13 now, because this is the Delta Human Resources Agency. I know who you are, but these folks don't, nor do the public. So if you would, please come up, and we got plenty of seats up here, Greg and Ms. Clay, if you'd like to come up. Y'all good right there? Okay. All right. Please make sure your mic's on. Tell us who you're with and who you are, and you may proceed.
Okay, my name is Nikki Gray, and I'm the Interim Executive Director for Delta Human Resource Agency. And I have W.T. Bailey with me today, our Fiscal Officer, Miss Chelsea Clay, our Programs Director, and Greg Hartsfield, our Transportation Director. Thank you for having us today, and thank you for allowing us to do what we do. Our agency, as well as the other 8 HRAs, was created by the Tennessee General Assembly in 1973 to be the delivery system of human resources. Prior to Delta being created and chartered as a not-for-profit agency in January of 1990, the agency operated under the name of Lafayette. We serve the counties of Fayette, Lauderdale, and Tipton, with an office in each county. Our transportation department serves rural Shelby County in their transportation needs. As you all know, we are funded through federal and state grants, local, city, and county funding, donations, volunteers, and United Way. The goal of our agency is to promote the development of human resources through effective and efficient delivery. Our vision is to enhance the quality of life for income-eligible customers and create strong community involvement. Our mission is to partner with the community to promote self-sufficiency and encourage family stability to individuals and families by educating and providing needed social services. We feel our agency plays a vital role in the lives of the families in our service area. To put it bluntly, some days we are all they have. Our transportation department They provide essential rides to the elderly and low income for doctor appointments, dialysis, as well as grocery stores. We provide rides to individuals who have no other means of transportation to their employment. Other programs provide energy assistance and rental assistance, which lessens the burden of those on fixed incomes. We're extremely grateful for the commitment and partnership with each of you. Without your support, we would not be able to assist the elderly, disabled, and economically disadvantaged population in our area with assistance they desperately need. Do you have anything? And I'll answer any questions if you
All
have
right,
any.
thank you so much for Ms. Gray for your presentation. Any questions from our committee, Representative Vice Chair Fritz?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one quick question. Welcome again. Thank you for what you do. And in those rural counties, we're getting some numbers in the Veterans Caucus that we had approximately 300 homeless veterans in West Tennessee around those counties, 150 of them localized in Memphis. But what's your experience with homelessness with veteran population in the counties you all service?
We don't really deal with the homeless as far as, we don't have a lot of that in our area. The veterans, aren't they building a?
There's been talk about building a regional facility in West Tennessee for a while. I think you all are probably aware of it. I'm not sure where we are with that, but to what Director Gray said, in county government as well, we don't deal with a lot of the homelessness. Senator Rose, Mr. Chairman, are you aware of anything?
I know in Arlington, they are getting close to finish a huge veterans home.
Okay.
It's been an effort by a lot of folks over the years. I don't know if Mayor Huffman was involved in that or not, but he probably was. But all right, any further questions from our committee? All right, I've got a question, and Mr. Bailey, let me tell you, I've had this question the whole time, but I saved it because I know you're involved in county finances as well as this, so you carry a dual role, and I appreciate all that the agency does. This is my question, and we don't know on the state level yet what the federal drawback funding is going to mean for us as a state. Do you folks, and I'm asking for really all of the human resources agencies that depend so much on federal funding, do you have any clue of what it's going to look like when this all is rolled out?
Mr. Chairman, I will do my best to answer that question. It is a major concern, of course, for all of us, county governments included, I'm sure for the state as well. We really don't know what direction, the federal government's going to go. We are seeing some programs that I believe are going to be taken away from us. That's the rumor mill that's what we're hearing. And so I believe, as one of the directors mentioned, we are seeing some reduced funding and have been for a while. What we do see, of course, the federal funds come to the state. We are subject to seeing an initial contract where it's a reduction of funding. And then what we might see is 6 months to 9 months later into the contract, we may see an amendment. We may see more funds allocated to the various agencies. And so that's what we've been seeing. And I don't know if that's due to what the lack of commitment, the fear, the concern for commitment from the federal government to doling those dollars out to us locals. I don't know what that is, but we are seeing some decreases in areas. We do have major concerns, and it could heavily impact all of our agencies across the state if it becomes bad enough. And again, while we're here, I want to echo what everyone has said. Without you all's partnership and commitment in helping us, we couldn't do what we do, and we could not serve the clients that we serve without you all's help. And so your funding matters from the transportation side to the state direct appropriation. I believe in the governor's budget that you all approved. We are extremely grateful for all that you do and your support.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bailey. Chairman Crowe, you're recognized.
Thank you. Just to follow up on that, I would just caution all of our HRAs. What the chairman just mentioned is an interesting situation. The federal government acted really quickly, the DOGE or whatever they call it, to affect some of these programs. But once they have understood You know, we do that sometimes in Tennessee too. We go quickly and then the next year we got to fix it. Once they've understood, the Trump administration, that some of these programs are important to the community and what they really do, they have put them back. So I would not hesitate to let us know if you like, or you can let, Marcia, Bill Haggerty, your congressperson, know that there's some importance to some of these programs, and you'd be surprised they may put them back. I know in AmeriCorps, they took some of this away from our historical sites that were doing programs in the summertime for kids and teaching the history, the real history of America in the right way. And some of the AmeriCorps groups had gotten poor audits, but in Tennessee, we were great. And so, hopefully they put some of that back. But I'm just saying, if you have programs that you feel are that important, that they need to be taken another look at, don't hesitate to get with your senator, and we'll make sure they know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Crowe. Any questions, further questions from our committee? All right. Any public comments? All right. Seeing none, do I have a motion? Chairman Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'd like to make a motion for a 4-year extension for Delta HRA to 2030.
Got a motion. I've heard a second. Any objection to the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, take a roll call vote in the Senate, please.
Senator Crowe. Votes aye. Senator Jackson. Votes aye. Senator Oliver. Votes aye. Senator Seal. Senator Sutherland. Votes aye. Chairman Rose.
Aye. All right, thank you. And we'll take a voice vote in the House. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Delta Human Resource Agency moves forward with a 4-year extension. Let me thank you and all the presenters today for what you do. You're very appreciated. Just a final word to a couple of final words to our committee and to the public. The actions that we take are submitted to the Government Operations Committee for deliberation and final decision prior to being placed on the calendar during legislative session. Notice of future meetings will be posted in advance. And if you don't get it soon enough, Jaya's right. She's in the Chairman Jackson's office. You can knock on her door. But a reminder, you're welcome, Jaya. Real Review meets at 1 o'clock in this room today. Without objection, we are adjourned.